And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said, Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed enters doors. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 4 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella all together. One day, the king of Nottingham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, the king of Nottingham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Nottingham. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Nina. Isabella said, No way, Nina, he's going to marry me. Natalia said, Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Ella said, All 3 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Nottingham while doing chores. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, Cinderella? Cinderella responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Nottingham, but I have lots of chores to be done. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, Cinderella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, Cinderella has 9 pumpkins and 18 mice. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to tell her the 9 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 18 mice into horses, and Cinderella's rich clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, I've never seen such a non-fantastic gown, and get a load of my glass slippers. How can I ever thank you enough? Cinderella's fairy godmother said, Well, you can't. But have fun, Cinderella. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Nottingham was wondering who he should marry. He's walking towards me, said Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella all together, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. May I have this dance? Asked Prince Nottingham. Cinderella responds, I would be delighted. Cinderella and Prince Nottingham dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Nottingham was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around Nottingham to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrived in knocks on the door of the home where Cinderella, Nina, Isabella, and Natalia and Ella lived. But instead of Cinderella, he finds Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Prince Monopoly then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper?" Nina is first, but her foot is too big. Isabella is next, but her foot is too small. Natalie and Ella did the same thing, but none of their feet are the right size either. Suddenly, Prince Monopoly noticed Cinderella's sweet singing. The glass slipper fits! Cinderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Monopoly back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doers, I hope you enjoyed this story. And if you want to see some sequels to Cinderella, something like that, etc., tell your friends about it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise too on AndrewDoesEverything.com. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 17-Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella, with a bit of a twist. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named 17-Cinderella. 17-Cinderella had 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie. All 9 of them made the 17-Cinderella do all the chores. 17-er wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Said Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie all together. One day, the king on some of the Cunningham's messenger arrives and says, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Seven of Cunningham, his majesty, is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Seven of Coupling." But 17-Cinderella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They argue over who will Prince Seven of Coupling marry. Later, 17-Cinderella is so sad, distraught and upset about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Seven of Coupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks 17-Cinderella what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, 17-Cinderella?" In which 17-Cinderella responds, "I have lots of chores to be done, but I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Seven of Coupling." 17-Cinderella's fairy godmother says, "I can help with a bit of magic." And where's her magic wand? Because of that, 17-Cinderella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 17-Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 17-Cinderella has 17 pumpkins and 34 mice. 17-Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again. And to turn the 17 pumpkins into a handsome coach, and the 34 mice into horses, and 17-Cinderella goes into a gown and crown. 17-Cinderella says, "I've never seen such a seven couple-tastic gown. Get a load of my glass slippers too! 17-year-old's fairy godmother says, "Have fun, 17-year-old, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before." It gives her a clock to tell her what time it is. 17-year-old accepted the warning and climbed into the coach. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Seminicolin was wondering who he should marry. Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie say, "He's walking towards me!" according all together. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 17-year-old. 17-year-old and Prince Seminicolin dance happily together. But later, 17-year-old checks her clock. It's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Seminicolin was really sad and worried that he might never see 17-year-old again. The king of Seminicolin comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find 17-year-old." And so, Prince Seminicolin and the king of Seminicolin began their journey. All around Seminicolin to find 17-year-old and brought the glass slipper with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the home where 17-year-old and her 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 17-year-old, they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Prince Seminicolin and the king of Seminicolin then say, "Ladies, we have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper?" Sophie is first, but her foot is too big. Ella is next, but her foot is too small. "Nonsense! It fits!" she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Seminicolin and the king of Seminicolin noticed 17-year-old's sweet singing. "The glass slipper fits!" 17-year-old gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Seminicolin back. And so, 17-year-old, Prince Seminicolin, and the king of Seminicolin lived happily ever after. The end. And Andrew's Doers, I hope you enjoyed this story. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Knows Everything. And I've been debating on making some sequels to 17-year-old. So if you want to see maybe someday 17-year-old 2, 17 Wishes Come True. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Knows Everything. And buy our merchandise too at andrewknowseverything.com. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents 25-year-old. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young woman named 25-year-old. 25-year-old had 10 ugly, mean, and wicked stepsisters named Tina, Winona, Elena, Nina, Tanya, Irina, Fiona, Isabella, and Verona, and Erica. All 25 of them made 25-year-old do all the chores and watch her work. 25-year wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Tina to Erica all together. One day, the king of Queen Vigilham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear! Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Queen Bridgertonlingham is going to throw a ball with lots of food at 9 o'clock. And 11 o'clock his dance time, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Queen Bridgertopling. Can I come? Asks 25-year-old, but she's not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. Tina and Erica are. He's going to marry me, said Tina, the oldest stepsister. No way, Tina, you're wrong. He's going to marry me, said Winona. Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me, said Elena. The rest said, all three of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. They then tear her 25-year-old's best party dress. Later, 25-year-old is so sad, upset and distraught about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Queen Bridgertopling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts her. There now, 25-year-old. I can help with a bit of magic. And so, she chants the magic words. Quintity, vigitantity, quinto, quantity, vigitantity, quinvoo, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, 25-year-old's chores are all done, and her best party dress is fixed and grown bigger and better. 25-year-old says, I've never seen such a Queen Bridgerton-tastic gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. But 25-year-old, his fairy godmother's not done yet. She said, 25-year-old, go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, 25-year-old has 25 pumpkins and 50 mice. 25-year-old's fairy godmother chants the magic words. Quantity, vigitity, quantity, vigitantity, quinvoo, and waves her magic wand again to turn the 25 pumpkins into a handsome coach, and the 50 mice into horses. 25-year-old climbs into the coach. Her fairy godmother says, have fun, 25-year-old, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. And so, 25-year-old accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Queen Bridgerton was wondering who he should marry. Tina, Winona, Elena, Nina, Tanya, Irina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Erica say all together, he's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. Prince Queen Bridgerton is walking towards 25-year-old. May I have this dance? Asks Queen Bridgerton. To which 25-year-old responds, I would be delighted. Prince Queen Bridgerton and 25-year-old dance happily together. But later, 25-year-old realizes it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Queen Bridgerton was so worried that he might never see 25-year-old again. The king of Queen Bridgerton again comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find 20-year-old, he said. And so, they began their journey all around the neighborhood to find 25-year-old and brought the only glass slipper with them. By the time they arrive, they knock on the door of the house where 25-year-old and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 25-year-old, they find her 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Tina to Erica, Prince Queen Bridgerton then says, Ladies, my father and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you draw on this glass slipper? Tina is first, but her foot is too big. Winona is next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits, she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, the Prince, Queen, Virgin toppling, and the King and Queen Virgin telling here, 25 Arelas singing. Prince, Queen Virgin toppling, is that you? 25 Arella hollered excitedly. And the glass slipper fits! And 25 Arella, Prince Queen Virgin toppling, and the King and Queen Virgin Topplingham lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew's Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. Take care. Bye. Andrew's Doers. Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 33 Rella for the Frieza 1300 episode special. As the title suggests, it is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young woman girl named 33 Rella. 33 Rella had 11 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tasha, Hilda, Isabella, Ramona, Tanya, Irina, Tilly, Hallie, Ruby, Erin, and Emily. All 11 of them made fun of 33 Rella and made her do all the chores. 33 wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Said Tasha to Emily all together. One day, the King of Troubleville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye! Hear ye! The King of Troubleville's Royal Majesty is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Treasure Toppling. Can I come? Asked 33 Rella. But she is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Tasha, the oldest stepsister. But her younger stepsisters disagreed. They even tear 33 Rella's dress. And her best party dress. Later, 33 Rella is so sad, distraught and upset and about not going to the ball, marrying Prince Treasure Toppling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother rises and comforts her. 33 Rella, there now, my dear. 33 Rella, she said, I'll fix everything for you. She then waves her magic wand. Because of that, 33 Rella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 33 Rella, my dear, go fetch me a pumpkin and some ice. Luckily, 33 Rella has 33 pumpkins and 66 mice. 33 Rella, fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 33 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 66 mice into horses, and fixes 33 Rella's torn dress and makes it bigger and better. 33 Rella said, I've never seen such a Treasure Toppling-tastic gown. And get a load of my glass slippers, fairy godmother. How can I ever thank you enough? And climbed into the coach. 33-year-old fairy godmother said, well, you can't, but have fun, 33-year-old, my dear. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. Anne gave her a clock to tell her what time it is. And so, 33-year-old accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of Troubleville, who is very kind, wise, etc., says, good evening, everyone. My son, Prince Tritupling, was wondering who he should marry. Isn't that right, son? In which Prince Tritupling responds, yes, father. Suddenly, 33-year-old arrived at the ball just in time. He's walking towards me, say Tasha, Hilda, Isabella, Ramona, Tanya, Irina, Hallie, Ruby, Aaron, and Emily all together. But Prince Tritupling is not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 33-year-old. Prince Tritupling then says, may I have this dance? In which 33-year-old responds, I would be delighted. And so 33-year-old and Prince Tritupling dance happily together. But later, 33-year-old checks her clock, and it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Tritupling was really worried that he might never see 33-year-old again. The king of Troubleville comforts him by saying, there now, son. I think we'll be able to find 33-year-old, my dear daughter-in-law. And so, the king of Troubleville and Prince Tritupling began their journey all around Troubleville to find 33-year-old and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knock on the door of the house where 33-year-old and her 11 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 33-year-old, they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters, Tasha and Emily. Prince Tritupling then said, ladies, my father, the king of Troubleville, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Tasha is first, but her foot is too big. Hilda is next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits! She said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, the king of Troubleville and Prince Tritupling noticed 33-year-old singing. Your Majesty and Prince Tritupling, is that you guys? She hollered excited. The glass slipper fits! And 33-year-old and the king of Troubleville and Prince Tritupling lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. And I've been debating on making the sequels. So if you want to see maybe someday 33 2, 33 Wishes Come True, something like that. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. Buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew's Doers. Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 41 Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named 41 Cinderella. 41 Cinderella had 8 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fiona, Ophelia, Ramona, Tina, Yadina, Una, Nina, and Alina. Fiona, Ophelia, Ramona, Tina, Yadina, Una, Yina, and Elena made 41 Arella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Fiona, Ophelia, Ramona, Tina, Yadina, Una, Yina, and Elena all together. One day, the king of Unquadradition tumbling heaven's messenger said, Hear ye, the king of Unquadradition Tumblingham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Unquadradition Toppling. But 41 Arella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. They argue over who will Prince Unquadradition Toppling marry. Later, Cinderella is so sad because she wanted to go to the ball and marry Prince Unquadradition Toppling while doing chores, and her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, 41 Arella? 41 Arella responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Unquadradition Toppling. Her fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. 41's fairy godmother waves her magic wand. Because of that, 41's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet, she said. 41 Arella, go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, 41 Arella has 41 pumpkins. 41's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 41 pumpkins into a Hansa coach drawn by 82 strong horses, and then 41's rich cousin drag into a gown and crown. 41 Arella said, I've never seen such an Unquadradition Toppling-tastic gown. Get a load of my glass slippers. 41's fairy godmother said, Have fun, 41 Arella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. 41 Arella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Unquadradition Toppling was wondering who he should marry. Fiona, Ophelia, Ramona, Tina, Yadina, Una, Nina, and Elena all say together, He's walking towards me, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 41 Arella. 41 Arella and Prince Unquadradition Toppling dance happily together. But later, 41 Arella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, where she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Unquadradition Toppling was so worried that he might never see 41 Arella again. So he traveled all around Unquadradition Topplingham to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door at the house where 41 Arella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 41 Arella, he finds Fiona, Ophelia, Ramona, Tina, Yadina, Una, Nina, and Elena. He then said, Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Fiona is first, but her foot is too big. Ophelia is next, but her foot is too small. Oh. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Unquadradition Topplingham notices 41's sweet singing. The glass slipper fits! 41 gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Unquadradition Topplingham back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers, and if you want to see some sequels, I've been debating on making on those. maybe I can do it. Take care. Bye.